Okay, so Ninja Nick here. Today we are doing brake pads on my niece's 05 Dodge Stratus, I believe it is. Hang on, let me double check. Yeah, Dodge Stratus SXT. It's a 4-cylinder. Needs the front brake pads done. So, the first thing you want to do is jack the car up like I have. Well, you can jack it up on the sides, and take the wheels off, which I'll be doing both sides. I haven't took that wheel off yet, but it will be off. And then the next thing I like to do is I will compress the caliper with it still on the car. And I'll show you what I mean by that here in a second. Alright, so give me a second here. Okay, so I have this is actually a ball joint press, but you can do this with a C-clamp or whatever. Just clamp it around the backside there, not on anything important like the brake line or nothing. You never want to clamp against that. Then you just want to crank it down, just like that, where you'll see space in between the brake pads and the caliper. That means the caliper is pressed all the way in. You can't really see it in there, but it is. So now when you take it off, the caliper will just slide right off. Which, to remove it, there's 2 bolts hidden in these little caps here. They are a star, or not a star, hex, I'm sorry. Which I'm going to have to go get my hex keys out. Oh, and just FYI, if you ever changing a battery on these, it's right in the wheel well, because you know that's a good place to put a battery. Yeah. I didn't know it was missing until I just had to look over there. You literally got to take the driver's wheel off to get the battery out, because that's a good place to put a battery, right? Alright, enough of that. Okay, so I went ahead and got the bolts out. These are what they look like. They're literally an H7. Little hexagon head in there that you take it out with. You really can't see it, but there you go. These ones are at H7. Yours might be slightly different. Like I said, usually H7, H8. These were 7s, so. Now, if yours don't want to come out, that's not a problem. But make sure you get it flush with the rubber boot. Just have it sticking out like that. That one didn't want to come out, so I said, okay, you could stay. And we'll get this put back on. Just like this. You just drop it right on there. You just slide it on. And you go, whee! Isn't she? It'd be a little pain. Get her in there. Make sure the poles line up. And you just crank her on down in there. And that's how you set these calipers. Just tighten her on down in there. She's going to wiggle around till you get both bolts in there. Which I only got one in there so far. There's the second one. I'm going to give her a few turns here. If she wants to turn. There she goes. You just crank her on down till it's done. Give her a snuggest. Now, if yours is like this one actually still has the caps on it, which I'll show you those in a second. They literally just go right over top the. And you know what? I think there is something missing off these. I think there's supposed to be a holder. There's supposed to be a little metal piece that goes from here to here. Or it's supposed to go like, it's like a little spring. She did not buy one. She did not buy the brake hardware kit for it. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it would have been nice to have. Because that holds this end down. So this doesn't flop around like that. I mean, it's not going to flop around too much. It'll just tighten up. But, yeah, there's supposed to be a spring on there. But, alright. Okay, so these are the caps. And they literally just slide in where the bolts were. Literally, like right there, as you see. I'm trying here, you guys. They literally just slide over top the bolts to keep them from rust out of there. On both of them. And there you go. That's how you do that. And I just rinse and repeat. And before you drive it, okay, before you take off after you done did your brakes, make sure you come in here, get in your vehicle like this, and pump them, because your brakes are going to go to the floor, and then they'll tighten up, just like that. Always pump them with the, you can do it dry, you could do it with the engine running, but pump them, because otherwise you ain't going to have no brakes. And that's how you do brakes on a 05 Dodge Stratus. I will put the years that it qualifies for. I believe it's, I want to say 02 to 07. Don't quote me on this yet. I will look it up and put it in the link in put the years in the description in the title for you guys. Till next time, Ninja Nick's out.